Have you been debating quitting your job? Are you watching video after video about other people's experiences leaving their jobs, reading articles? Should I quit my job? Is this a sign that I need to quit my job? Etc., etc., etc. If so, I can completely relate. 1 year ago, I was scouring the internet for any and all information regarding leaving my 9-to-5 and if it was the right choice for me. And at the end of the day, it wasn't an article and it wasn't a video that I watched that helped me decide that it was finally time to pull the plug. But the goal of this video is to hopefully actually be the answer to what you're looking for. Today I want to talk about the top 5 reasons why you can't bring yourself to quit your 9-to-5. Hopefully after watching this video and learning about these 5 reasons, you're able to identify what is personally holding you back, and you can see if you're able to break through that and actually decide whether or not quitting your job is the right decision for you. So without further ado, let's jump right into number 1. Number 1 is the most obvious and the most talked about reason why people are unable to actually pull the plug and quit their job. It's about money. Obviously, if you're in a job, it's to make money. There's other reasons why we have jobs, of course, but at the end of the day, that is the sole reason we work, right? To be able to fund our life, to be able to pay our bills, take care of our loved ones, raise our family, any of those things. So a lot of times money is the biggest obstacle in us leaving our jobs. We might hate our jobs, we might know for sure we want to quit, but we are not going to be able to make money if we quit our jobs. So if money is your biggest pain point, then what you need to ask yourself is there another way for me to make money that doesn't have the negative pieces of my job? And most likely there is another way for you to make money that wouldn't have that. The other side of this is sometimes it's not that your job needs to pay you as much as your current job does. The only reason you need that much money is because of the lifestyle that you have surrounded yourself with, the expenses that you now have, your bills, things that you can't get out of. Maybe you have a car loan or a mortgage or things like that. Now you have to have this job to be able to sustain this lifestyle you've built up. If that is the case, then the best thing I can tell you is that it's a good idea to sit down and brainstorm ways to decrease or deflate your lifestyle a little bit so that you're able to take on maybe a lower paying job if you're trying to switch careers or start your own business or freelance. Anything you can do to lower that required expense amount each month so it's a lot easier for you to eliminate this problem of money when it comes to quitting your job. So moving on to the other 4. And the other 4 are, in my opinion, the more likely reasons why you have been unable to pull the plug and finally quit your job. The first one is the sunk cost fallacy. So what this is the feeling that you can't quit your job or change careers or whatever because you've already put so much time into it. For me, what that looked like was, I already went to school for engineering. I did a 4-year degree. I spent this much money on school. I have this much in student loans for this career path. I can't quit my job or leave engineering because then I'm wasting all this time and money. But the reality is I'd only been in my career field for 1 year. So if any time was the time to change, it's now. The more time you invest in whatever you're currently doing, if it's not something you enjoy doing, the more time you invest is just more time you're investing. You shouldn't view it as the past of how much time or money you've already spent. You should look at it as, what is the future I have left and how much more time do I have to pursue the thing I actually want to pursue? A really great analogy to this is the concept of the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is right now. And I know it's cliche, but at the end of the day, now is the best time for you to change what you're doing. A lot of times the lost time or lost money really is irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. And depending on what you want to switch to, the potential monetary exponential growth or just your exponential growth in your happiness hardcore outweighs any sunk costs that you might incur from leaving your current field. Number 3, others' opinions. This was a hard one for me personally. Other people are going to have opinions about the idea of you leaving your job or changing careers or whatever it is that you want to do regarding quitting your job. A lot of those people are going to be family and friends. Some of those people might also be your coworkers that you feel super uncomfortable about telling telling that you're quitting or leaving or pursuing something different. There's always going to be other opinions out there that are going to hold you back from doing what you really want to do. And for me personally and others I've talked to, I've found that it really is others' opinions that are deeply rooted inside of us that hold us back from doing what we actually want to do. Really, all I can say about this one is, what do you want to do? And why are you focused so much on what these other people think? Get to the root of that. Something I like to do is ask myself why 5 times. So, for example, why am I afraid of what other people are going to think if I quit my job? Oh, because they viewed me as the smart girl who went and did engineering, and it's something that everyone in my family has been really proud of. Well, why do I care if I'm not that person anymore? Oh, because then I feel like I've been lying to everyone or faking, or that they're not going to look as highly of me. Well, why do I care if they look so highly of me? Oh, because that's where I get my good feelings about myself. If other people are proud of me, then I'm proud of me. Well, why am I only proud of myself if other people are proud of myself? See what I'm saying? If you can ask yourself why, I don't even know if I did 5 times, but if you keep asking yourself why and then asking why about the answer you give to that question, you start to really get down to the root cause. And that was just me going off the top of my head. If you really sit down and journal with this, you'll get some answers to things that you didn't even know were inside of you. The more you ask yourself why, the clearer your reasoning actually becomes deep down, and you can start to break through that limiting belief or that mindset, change that mindset, and do the thing you actually want to do for yourself. Number 4, uncertainty or instability. Another big thing that I've seen over and over again, as well as with myself personally, is not wanting to quit because you're unsure if you actually want to leave your career field, or you're worried about the instability of not having this job. And while these are all valid concerns, I will say that the stability that came from my 9-to-5 is not something I have missed. I much prefer the flexibility of my current schedule. Yes, I have not had health insurance for the past year, but the one time I did have a health scare and had to go to the ER, everything ended up being fine. I was able to work through a financial aid scholarship from the hospital to help me pay those bills off, and I was able to pay them off. Obviously, I know there's people out there who need health insurance. They have current medical issues that they have to continuously get care for. I understand that, and I hear you. I'm not saying that this is irrelevant, but there's always ways to work around these things. Another big one for me was the fear of not having enough money to invest in my 401k and my retirement for the whole period of time after leaving my job, which I have not invested in. But at the end of the day, what I've come to realize is the exponential growth that I know I'm going to see with what I'm pursuing now is going to hardcore outweigh any loss and gains that I'm missing out on from not being in my 9-to-5 and getting, a little bit of money put into my 401k each month. I'm a big proponent of investing in your retirement early, and the whole concept of retirement is something I need to make an entire separate video about. But at the end of the day, there's no reason to stay in a job that you're miserable in because you need to fund your retirement account. It makes way more sense in terms of your actual happiness of your life, your well-being, to quit the job, do the thing that's going to make you happy now, and figure everything else out later. Because at the end of the day, trust me when I say, you are more likely to have salary growth in a field or a career that you actually enjoy and have interest in than you are in this field or this job that you currently are miserable in. And number 5 is not trusting yourself. When I was debating leaving my job, I really didn't know if I could trust my feelings. It was something I struggled with a lot, and I know I've talked about it before, but it's really hard to know, is this something I can trust? Is this a thought or a feeling or an emotion or a want or a need that is actually true and something I should actually listen to from myself? That is a really hard thing to answer, but at the end of the day, the more that you actually decide to trust yourself, decide to listen to yourself, and do things that you're calling out for in your soul, in your mind, in your heart, the more you're going to learn to actually trust yourself and start to believe that voice and trust that that voice has your best interest in mind. There's a few different voices in your head, which makes it sound like I'm talking about actually having different voices in your head, which I'm not, but there's different voices in your head. Some are your inner critic, some are your inner cheerleader. And the more you start to try to listen to those voices and actually listen to what you're thinking and what you want and your needs and your desires in life, the more you're able to start identifying which of those thoughts are actually your inner critic and that you need to shut out and ignore and say, no, I'm not listening to that. and the more you're going to be able to see which of those voices are actually your inner cheerleader, your inner desires, the actual things that you should be pursuing in your life and are going to bring you to being your best self and actually pursuing your best self and, pursuing the life that you want to live. You need to actually be able to learn to listen to that voice and sit with it. And over time, you'll start to gain confidence in being able to trust that voice. But you don't gain confidence in something until you actually do it. You're not going to gain confidence in being able to swim a lap in under 1 minute in the pool. Why am I using laps? Let me talk about miles instead. I don't swim. Anyway, if you want to run a 6-minute mile, for example, and you've never even once timed your mile, how are you going to know if it's realistic or not, or if you can potentially trust that you'll be able to run a 6-minute mile when you don't even know what your current mile time is? You have to actually do the thing to grow the confidence that you're able to reach a goal. So for example, with my YouTube channel, before I ever created my first video, it would have been really easy to say, I'm never going to hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's just not going to happen for me. I'm never going to be able to do it. I had to start posting to gain the confidence to see that I actually believe I can. I believe I can make this a living for myself. I believe this will pay my bills one day. And the more I believe that, the better my videos get, the more confident I am on camera, and the more my channel grows. But you don't need the confidence to start with. You just have to start taking action on the thing. I'm going to end today's video with, if you're afraid of leaving your job because you don't trust that you're going to be able to make money any other way or that you're going to find happiness somewhere else, then ask yourself this: how do you know that you're not going to be able to make money another way? How do you know you're not going to find happiness somewhere else if you've never tried? If you want to gain confidence and learn to trust yourself in that way, you have to take a chance. You have to take small baby steps to start building up that confidence. Maybe it's starting to run a business on the side while you're still in your 9-to-5. Maybe it's posting on YouTube once a week. Maybe it's going as far as I did and just fully quitting your job and just figuring it out. It doesn't really matter what that step is, but you need to take at least some type of step to start building confidence so that you can learn to trust yourself and finally make that big decision of leaving your job. And stop saying one day, because guess what? The more you say one day, the more you don't trust yourself, because you're telling yourself, oh, I'll do it eventually, and then you never actually do it. And now your brain doesn't know how to actually trust yourself anyways. But that is all I have for you guys today on this topic. I really hope this video was helpful for you guys, and I hope it was the last video that you need to watch about whether or not you should quit your 9-to-5 job. I really wanted this to be your last stop in that journey and the beginning of the process of learning to look within and figure out what you need to break through to actually finally make that leap and make that decision to quit. But that is all I have for you guys in today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below which of the 5 things you resonated with most, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.